Okay, so check this out. The other day we did a video talking about a CoinOPS build, CoinOPS Legends 2 Bit Wars, and I had it loaded up on this hard drive. I plugged it into a new mini PC, and some people, they got the impression that it was more about like, hey, you have to buy this expensive mini PC in order to run this type of thing. And that really wasn't the point. The point was like, hey, I downloaded this build for free. I threw it on a mini PC that I'd never used before. Yeah, it was like a $500-$600 mini PC. But the point was, is like, use what you have available to yourself, your own PC, a cheap PC you got off of the, frickin' in an alley somewhere, trading somebody. I don't frickin' know, and I don't care. But today, I got this little crappy, I think it's crappy, I don't know, I could be wrong, but this is like a $200 mini PC on Amazon. This is $200. The GK3 Plus Mini Kangaroo, I don't freaking know, man. I don't know this brand too well, but I've had this thing sitting around for a while, and we're just gonna bust it open real quick. Not even gonna connect to the internet, nothing like that. We're just gonna set this thing up, plug it in the power. Here it is. I will put the specs up on screen, but this is not a review of this thing. It's just testing this emulation with like PS2, Wii U, that kind of thing. During the system boot process, if you cannot log into your personal account, please turn off Wi-Fi. What? I don't know what the hell they're saying there, but there you go. We're gonna go ahead and plug this thing in. I just need to find the power supply. And there it is. That's it. Oh, it came with the HDMI, but I don't need that. So let's throw that to the side. Get this out of here. So we are gonna turn this thing on, plug it in, and load up some emulation where I'm not setting anything up. I'm not configuring these emulators. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just plugging this in, plugging in the build. So there's that plugged in. I got HDMI already right here. We're gonna plug that into HDMI 1. I'm gonna use this cheap ass keyboard, the dongle out, make sure it's powered on, plug this into, whatever. I'm gonna plug in a controller as well, because one thing like with this build is like you didn't have to configure the controls either. Everything just worked. Okay, and then we got to plug this in. Is there USB-C on this ish? No, there is not. I'm gonna have to find an adapter real quick. Damn it. Okay, well I hope this works. I found a different cable. We're gonna plug it in. So everything's plugged in, my controller, my keyboard, my hard drive. Let's power this ish on and then get Windows going. No internet, just gonna boot into the thing and load up the build off of here. So I want to show how simple, how easy this is. I understand some people are like, I don't want to download a build. I don't want to do this. Just search for the name, download it. If you don't want to, then hey, buy a pre-set up build that's going to be crappy. That's your decision. I don't really care. This is for the rest of you guys. Just showing you what you can do out there, right? And we've got a lot more videos similar to this for the future of different builds, different setups, different ways to play your games for free or for extremely cheap instead of buying these junky little systems on Amazon. Here we go. Windows ready to go. Is my mouse working? Yes, it is. English. Okay, there we go. We're not connected to the internet. We ain't trying to do anything. We don't want to update. If you're using your own PC, update everything you want, do all that good stuff. But I ain't worried about all that right now. I just want to test out CoinOPS with like Wii U, GameCubes, PS2 maybe. Check some of that stuff out on this cheap little mini PC. Now, obviously, a desktop, you're going to have more power and stuff like that. With something like this, you're going to be a little limited, but I just want to see what this thing is capable of. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to this fixes when not working thing. And I mentioned this in my other video. So I'm going to go in that. I'm just going to go to the all-in-one runtimes, install all. And it's just going to go through. It's going to install the redistributables, just all that stuff. That's it. And if you don't do this, some of the emulators may not run. So that's why we're doing it. So all that's installed. And this came as part of the build. A lot of times these CoinOPS builds come with all that. So I did the fixes when not working. we may need to do DirectX. I'm not sure if that was in that, but we'll just run it anyway. And then once this is done, I'm just gonna boot up the build. Then we have BitWars down here. I'm just gonna double click on that application. There's several of them, and I think they're just set up differently, split by manufacturer, release date, that kind of thing. I'm just double clicking the one that doesn't have any of that. And since I'm running it off of the hard drive that I used on the other PC, it does have like how I changed the theme before. So it's kind of like, you know, if you put one of these builds on a hard drive, it's portable. It's a portable build. Take it to whatever PC you want type of thing. But let's go ahead and find a system. Let's try Mario Kart again. Now, like I said, this mini PC is like $200 on Amazon, but you're gonna get more out of like a $200 desktop, like finding something with an older graphics card, a Dell Optiplex type thing. There's so many options out there, but I just wanted to see how this little cheap ass thing, because some people want to just have a little system. Like I could just copy this build onto the hard drive on this system and just use this as like its own console, right? So some people, they want that. They just want a little setup. So hey, why not check these things out, right? This is pretty cool. This is clean, man. This is clean. Portable build. Just download one of these. And I know a lot of people, they're always like, well, where do I download it? Where's the link? I cannot link you directly to a download with something like this. I could just tell you the name. You have to be resourceful. You got to understand. But that's where we are at here. GameCube is working great. Let's switch to something else. So here we go. Oh, crap. I thought I could, like, punch him or something, but I guess not. But this is running just fine as well. It did stutter a little bit when it was loading, but sometimes that's a little typical when it's loading textures and whatnot. But it seems like Wii is running decently well. I did have to re-record all this footage because my microphone was like popping and acting weird. I changed to a wired controller because I think the wireless controller was causing interference with my Rode Wireless Go mic. I wound up going buying a new lavalier mic, some new cables, spent like too much damn money, and it didn't fix the issue, so I figured maybe it was the controller. So hey man, I would really appreciate a little love if you guys drop the comment, hit the like button, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God. But what I wanted to say was I was trying Super Mario 3D World earlier, and it was running like bad. It was slow as all hell. And what I wound up doing was going into the CMU emulator settings for this specific game, and it was set to 4K. I was like, I'm not even on a 4K monitor. And yeah, I lowered it down, and it is playing buttery smooth. So here's a little PS2, some Guilty Gear action. I've noticed that I've played a few games. Some of them just don't run very well. Some of them run kind of slow. I even think this is running a bit slow. So maybe some optimizations need to be done. Some games run okay on this system. The other system, pretty much everything ran good. On this, it's just kind of a little hit and miss. So it's really going to depend on your system, but definitely go into the actual emulator on the build, make some optimizations, change the resolution, that kind of thing, and get some better performance. Here's a little outrun on the PSP. It seems to be running okay, but there are a few little performance dips here and there. I definitely think PSP can run okay on a cheaper system like this, but you may want to, make some adjustments, optimizations within the actual emulator itself. But this seems to be okay. There's some Dreamcast Project Justice. I don't anticipate too many issues with Dreamcast on a system like this, but this is looking fairly crisp. I just don't like the bezel. I think the bezel looks nice, but I don't like how it kind of distracts the screen a bit, overlapping it. There is like some scripts within this build where you could turn bezels on and off type of thing. This is one, it looks cool, but I don't like how it kind of goes over the screen a bit. But there you go. Dreamcast. Gonna have no issues on a cheaper system like this. So a little Nintendo 64 to wrap up the video. I don't really anticipate too many issues here with this cheaper system. But yeah, I think this build, this CoinOPS Legends 2 Bit Wars, is an excellent little starter build that will run on plenty of different, PCs of varying power. This thing is a very cheap mini PC, and most of these systems run okay. It's something where, hey, download the build, download any CoinOPS build for PC, and just get going, learn how to make adjustments to the emulators if you want, build upon it, and learn from it. You don't have to pay anybody, man. Like, that's the biggest thing here. I just want people to be aware. We're gonna be doing a lot more videos, tutorials, different builds, different ways to play your games for free or extremely cheap, instead of going the route of these little crappy emulation devices out of China. I'm not saying I'm not gonna cover those things anymore, because hey, maybe one day one of those pre-made builds will actually be excellent and be worth it, but I have my doubts. Still think it's better to just do it yourself, or, find somebody who actually cares and makes builds and optimizes it, does, all the settings, makes it ready to go, and you just plug and play, get going, man. So there you go. Appreciate you guys watching. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.